And the stream will hear you in 3, 2. Hello, everybody. We're back. Let me just turn off the music. I forgot to do that. Hi, everyone.
Crack music. Cracking music.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not cracking. No. All right. Well, as promised, Now's here. It's been 2 minutes or something.
Did you cut off my shirt on stream? No.
You can still see it.
You can barely see the app. Like, there you go. There you go. It's the thing. It looks great. I like it a lot. I'm a big fan of this shirt. God damn it.
Listen, that's how the webcam is. All right.
Yeah,
that's just how it is.
That's how your capture is. It looks fine on my end.
Yeah, I know. But anyway, go ahead, introduce yourself. Tell me when you want to start the run.
Okay. Hi, I'm Naloa. I play I Want to Be the Guy Fangames. I didn't prepare an intro, so I guess I'll just get on with it. You ready?
For me? Yep. Count me down.
Alright, cool. 3, 2, 1, go. Alright! Starting off the marathon. A lot of things going on this year, aren't there? A lot of different games. Metroid, Toho, Celeste, Super Monkey Ball, Super Mario Bros. And this one here's an I Want to Be the Guy fan game called I Want to Be the Orbit. This is a fan game made in very early of 2014 by two very well-known makers of our community called Dagger and Suta. They're two people that have collabed with each other before, and we'll see a couple of references to that very, very far into the run. This game's also been very well known over the years because of a couple of areas, and inspired a couple of fan games itself as well. Yeah, this game itself has got like, I don't know, 9 stages and a little bit of intermissions here and there. It's your pretty typical I Want to Be the Guy experience. There's traps, there's platforming, bosses, and all of that good stuff. So that was a little intro area. We only had 2 screens there. It's just reminiscent of I Want to Be the Guy and his typical graphics. We're moving on to our first area made by Dagger, which is based on Donkey Kong Country. So the main things with this area is, firstly, it's all filled with water, which means I can jump as much as I like. I'll fall relatively slowly, which is fairly typical for I Want to Be the Guy fan games. Couple of little awkward things here and there though, because this background is taken straight up from just Donkey Kong Country 1-to-1, and then Dagger tried his very best to make sure that everywhere that needs it has a block filled in. And now, most of the time, he's succeeded with this. Most of the time. There are 2 places, however, where things got missed a little bit. One of those is useful. One of those is right at the end and does nothing for me. Here being one of them. So instead of going down and round and trying to get through, we'll just, you know, just skip right on through there. That is the only place that a missing block will actually be useful in this run. Most of the time, it doesn't do anything for us. Hey, good cycle, nice. As far as the run goes... Ah, she died to the fish, dang. As far as the run goes... Me trying to fall apart on my words, trying to think of what to say, and yeah, failing a little bit. As you can probably tell, with the guy starting the marathon, you get a little nervous sometimes. Sometimes you make mistakes. So yeah, this is one of the older fan games, so restarting music will be a thing sometimes as well. The main real problem with this area is these green fish right here though, as their tails at the back are nigh invisible to make out. So even when you know how to deal with them, you'll still be a little bit off sometimes. Thankfully for the most part, you don't have to be too precise about it, but there's a thing here and there where you think you've got the timing and then suddenly you explode and you're a little confused as to why. Like, these tails really blend into the background really well. I don't know how they look in Donkey Kong Country, maybe it's fine there. This jump is being a problem again. But yeah, at least in this game, the tails are kind of difficult to read. So that'll be your main cause of death in the first stage. Thankfully, overall, it's pretty quick. Also, thankfully, if you reset on that save, if you save in the right spot, it lines up perfectly for trying to get past the cycle there. Come on, there you go. And here's the other place where there's no wall. I don't know why, but that's how it is. Unfortunately, it doesn't do anything because the boss is right here. So, on to boss 1. Brown fish. I don't know Donkey Kong. Maybe this is a boss in Donkey Kong as well. as you can see, fairly simple as we're starting off early in the game. Gotta wait 2 cycles of this before he can go through. Actually kind of a tricky boss because you gotta do so many small jumps here. Like, if you do it right, it goes very, very quickly. If you struggle with the small jumps, ooh, perfect. Then you're gonna die very fast. There we go. That will be our one use of backspace here as well. In this little hub area, you can backspace at any point in time. And unfortunately, it's not really useful for any other part of the run. Because most of the bosses require you to leave in some way, shape, or form. On to stage 2. Yoshi's Story, I believe? I know it's a Yoshi game, I've forgotten which one it is. It's such a good song if you don't die. It's such a good song if you hear it. Another minor little skip here. So the warp to the next room on the right is just all the way along the right-hand wall. So instead of leaving at the top like you're supposed to, you can just do it here. And it will take you straight through. If you go back to the left from the start there, it'll put you at the top of the screen like it's supposed to. Yeah. So yeah, the goal of this little stage is you've got these 4 dudes that I'm trying to collect at the moment. Once you get all 4, if you press up on them, you'll go to the boss. But otherwise, if you're getting a little lost in this area, then you can press up on any of them and it will teleport you between the ones you've collected. Lets you explore back and forth trying to find wherever you've missed something. However, obviously, as we know where these are, we'll just go in a fairly straight line to the finish. That's a double jump. That's not what I was looking for there. Hey, didn't have to wait another fish cycle, nice. Alright. With this screen, we can actually just hold right, so this big fish here is just going on a set timer every single time. And if you just hold right, it actually links up perfectly with getting to the end. If I do this jump right as well, we can skip a little cycle. Hey, nice. Unfortunately, the bottom row here does require a lot of waiting. But on the plus side, it does mean you get to listen to the great song. It's such a good song. Like, I don't know why Yoshi's Story goes in so hard, but I am all for it. Alright, being a bit careful for this. Ball, and here's number 4. Press up, and if we have all of them, it teleports us to the end. On to the next boss. This boss is easily the longest one in this game. This guy has about 4 attacks, and repeats all of them 3 times, except for final, which is very scary for its own reasons I'll get to at the time. Attack 1 just being a charge where you can't really see him on the screen, so I'm doing this little jump pattern here to basically not have to think too hard about it. Like, I go up onto the top platform for a little bit, I try to delay out my double jump, and then he's just out of the way. Alright, part 2. Little spray thing. Looks pretty scary, honestly. However, you mostly just stand in the middle and, okay. Act 2 sorted. Cool, we're good. So welcome to Sack. This is the gist of him. You'll mostly get attacks that are pretty reasonable to deal with, and then you'll get to the ending, which is absolutely terrifying, and you hope he doesn't kill you. Part 3, yeah, so like I said, he repeats everything 3 times, then you get 1 damage in, and then you've got to do 3 damage for it to move on to the next attack, so it's easily the longest fight in this game. However, it is also a really good song. And because it delays itself out for so long, it actually times itself perfectly with the end attack of the fight. For, like, the hype part. This is a stage by Tuta, by the way. Suta. Not by Dagger. The next stage will be by Dagger, and then the one after that will be by Tuta. We're waiting for a 3rd burst here. Nothing came up. Nice. He will always move to the left at the bottom, so we don't have to worry about that. Currently, he's spraying green things up from the bottom. However, it's unlikely it even reaches here, so if you just stay on the top level, you're guaranteed to dodge it. And there's nothing you have to worry about. So that's 1. It's not even reaching the bottom platform at the moment, that's ridiculous. Oh, there you go, you gotta see some of them there. Alright, scary part. So he'll teleport anywhere on screen here. If I shoot him early enough, he'll do a fast teleport and immediately do a second spray. which is really scary when you can't quite tell where he's going to be appearing at a bit low, unfortunately. That one's fine. So I'm trying to be a bit careful for that reason. Where is he? Oh, come on! Oh, I wasn't checking there, so that's good. Hey, his hitbox is a little weird on the final attack, and I'm still not actually sure quite how it works. But thankfully got through pretty quickly, so it's fine. Alright, on to stage 3, the one use of the mouse. There you go. I'm currently standing on invisible blocks here. You can actually see them with the mouse, if you mouse close by to them. This is the first time I've missed the block in a good while. You can kind of make out the mouse in the middle of the screen there. It's a little hard to tell. So yeah, this is the next stage by Dagger. This is sort of a Metroidvania-esque stage in the sense that we're going to be going around, hitting buttons, activating, deactivating, so on and so forth. Opening up different paths that are available to us and getting to different areas of the screen. First up was obviously the mouse. That was the first puzzle in the game. Can you click a button? We've got to jump over this side because there's a trap if we try going under. Second button, as you just saw, activated those stone zombies right there. So now they are all moving very, very slowly. Cool. So you're not supposed to do that zombie like a corner there. Normally you wait for him to go back to the right and then you'll jump over him. However, obviously that is very slow as the zombies take their sweet time trying to get anywhere. This is probably the hardest jump in this stage, trying to get here. Yeah, because if you've got to land really quickly, so you've got to time it fast at the start, and then if you're a bit too slow, the axe will just fall back down on you again. There we go. It's probably the slowest screen in this stage as well, actually, because you just got to wait for the axe timing. Pretty much every case. Alright, next button done. That's opened up the path in the middle, as you can see there. Unfortunately, also resets the screen, so there's more axe cycles here that we've got to wait to play out. And dodge a hand. You didn't see the hand, but I can assure you it was there. There we go. Hey, very nice. Alright, take that save because this jump's easy to screw up. Very nice. So we'll be skipping this one because if we take that and reset, we actually can't make a fast cycle on this axe. Ah! It doesn't lose too much time going from the previous save instead of the next one as well. So even if you do screw it up a couple of times, it's not a huge time loss, because you're going to have to wait for a cycle here regardless. The left side of these axes is actually surprisingly awkward to deal with as well. Now, if these were mirrored, I think it would be pretty alright, but as you can see, obviously the left side is bigger than the right, and it's very easy to make a mistake on them. Blue cycles going on here. And hitting this button will take us all the way back to the first screen, which lets us drop down and get to the final button there. So you can see the hole open up. It doesn't show it linking back to the first screen, but obviously we know it's there. So that's the only way you can get to that little bit there. There we go. There we go. Nice. Unfortunately, on this cycle, there's just nothing to be done. We've got to wait for the axe to go past. There's no way to speed this one up. Hopefully we don't die on the way to the left, and thankfully we got through, so that's great. Skipping that save again. If you died at this jump, yeah. If you died at that jump, you kind of deserve the time loss. Gotta be a bit careful on this one because of that. There you go. But the zombies can be fast if they try. They're just kind of lazy, I guess. I don't know. Oh yeah, if you're not into jump scares, then feel free to mute the stream for a little bit. Don't worry about it, it's fine. It's fine, don't worry about it. They can't kill you anyway. They're just there to scare you, and they have in the past. I've definitely run into the spike from panicking from that. It is very upsetting when you do that. Oh, really? You were warned. Alright, on to the next one. This is the mouse boss. It's a mouse. We don't want to see blue. The blue fruits can spawn pretty much anywhere on the screen, and the icicles are very, very big, so they're a real problem. White, decent. Yellow's the best. White RNG can be very scary at times. Red's pattern, so you don't get, like, perfect mashing all the time on it, but you'll get at least 2 damage, so it's pretty good. You'll just lose a couple of half a second or something per attempt. I think that's okay? Yeah, okay. Alright, good RNG on blue, thank you. Ah, I went too early, did I? Dang. Alright, cool. Don't worry about it, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine, don't worry, it's fine, it's fine. See, it's fine, don't worry about it, it's fine. Don't mind the scary dead mouse thing that's chasing after you, after you get the item. If you do get caught by the mouse there, you will die and have to refight the boss again. So, onto everyone's favorite area. If you're in the I Want to Be the Guy community, this is an area that is very, very well known. This is what this game is known for. If you see any reference to Orbit at any point in time, it is definitely referring to this stage specifically. With all its lasers, thwomps, and every other trap available to it. One of the main traps there you go, thank you. We will not be seeing, because that enters you into a penalty room, and obviously penalty rooms are slow. You get auto-saved in there, you've got to take your time to get out, and it will put you back a couple of saves, so nobody really wants to see that. That's a lie. If I know my community well enough, everyone wants to see that. However, we will be trying our best to avoid them still, so... For example, here. If you fall down to that pit there, penalty room. We will be attempting our best to not see those right now. We might, if I've got enough time at the end, then I might see one of them, but we'll see what happens. We'll get there when we get there. So the way you're meant to deal with this trap right here, another one of the very famous ones in this game, is you're supposed to go to the right to dodge it. Ooh, except thankfully you can actually dodge this on the left as well. If you're really accurate, you can just go straight up to the block without even falling down. However, it's very, very difficult, so I'm not going to go that hard. Like I said, there's a good reason this is the area that everybody knows for this game. This area is made by Tutor, it is very trap heavy, and it's pretty much messing with you at every step of the way that it possibly can. I somehow didn't let go of the jump button to press it again. Good. Those are the best. Ah. There you go. That's not a hard jump, I just managed to not let off enough to actually let go of the jump button. So yeah, this stage actually has multiple penalty rooms as well that all warp you back to different places and have different layouts. If you enter the door there, I don't know why you would enter the door there, but you can. Then you'll enter a different penalty room to if you'd fallen into the penalty room in the first screen. The pink dude here is based off a guy called Hyper, a Japanese player, I believe. A friend of Tutor, aka the guy who made this stage. I don't know anything about him, but his pink square avatar definitely is here. I'll also be resetting... Well, I will be resetting on the next save, but I guess I'll be resetting on this one as well. So, because of all these pink guys that appear here that just block up the whole space, there's another pink guy on the next screen, and you've actually got to touch him to be warped to the next place, so if you don't reset after this save, he'll just kill you instead. He's supposed to be chasing after you while invisible for a little bit, but if you're good enough with your jump, then you can just jump straight into him and teleport straight to the next room. So normally you just fall to the bottom and he chase after you, but to be fast, you know, just get it over with. Cutscene. Yet again, don't want to fall into the bottomless pit. There's a bunch of invisible blocks there that are all trying to knock you down, and if you do, penalty room. Penalty rooms are slow. We don't want penalty rooms. We will not be skipping any other saves that we can see here, mostly just because, for the most part, skipping saves isn't the greatest idea. The previous stage with the horror stuff is pretty much the only place we do that because the cycles just line up a lot better if you don't take them. The one hard jump in this stage. There we go. Alright, on to the hyper boss. So this guy has 4 attacks at the start that he can choose from, that being one is targeted Z's. That is not targeted Z's. I knew I shouldn't have run into that one. And then 2 star attacks as well. That's the other targeted Z's. There's 1 star attack. The other one will make the background go dark. He'll spawn a bunch of stars. Okay, well, there you go. I don't have to describe it. If you can just show it off for me, that's great. And then around 6, 7 HP left. Assuming he's not about to go into another attack. Ah, this is why it's risky when you jump on it. If you wanted to play this guy safe, you pretty much just wouldn't jump at any point when he's about to do an attack because he can do this one. And jumping into this one's a very bad time. The stars don't kill you immediately, they've got to fade in properly before they'll do it. Man, you are loving this one right now. Okay, there you go. And there's the teleport. So now he'll have a couple of things here as well. One is he teleports around, one is the ring, one is just a bunch of random stuff. Oh, that's pretty good. The short version of this phase is that you pretty much just don't want him near you because, you know, you're nearer to everything. It makes it harder to dodge. Ah, and then sometimes he spawns under the floor and there's nothing you can do about it. Hi. If you've got a good spot, you can actually get 2 hits in 1 attack. Ooh, close. Unfortunately, as you can see, it's pretty RNG dependent. You've got to kind of get a little bit lucky. Anyway, done with the main section there. On to the next intermission. So we had those first 2 screens that were like, I want to be the guy, and now we've got another couple. He can spawn on top of you, but he does not kill on contact, so it's fine. Yeah. Now we've got a next couple of intermission screens here. Another section referring to I want to be the guy. Just a nice little break with a couple of traps trying to mess with you before it moves on to the next stage with all the gimmicks. Like, it's definitely a song that's been used a lot in I Want to Be the Guy fan games, but this song is definitely a classic that's still good to this day. There we go. Try to not land on the side of this platform. If you land on the far left of this platform, you're frozen at the moment. So the platform just start moving off and you'll drop into the bottomless abyss. There's nothing you can do about it. So you really need to make sure you're not quite on the edge. Alright, next stage, made by Tutor. The Sand stage, based off Banjo-Kazooie. There are a lot of cycles in this stage. For the most part, thankfully, they actually link up really well if you just don't reset and play well. But this is one of the stages that the restarting music whenever you die is really useful because the cycles actually sync up really well with the song. Not perfectly, but pretty good, pretty good. And none of the jumps are too precise for that to be important. Yeah, the next save is one of the few that I actually reset on. Oh yeah, these platforms are a little janky to deal with as well. So when you're standing on them, you can't move left and right most of the time. Like here, for example. I don't quite know how they work, but if you're landing on the edges, then sometimes you'll also just get pushed off. So, for the most part, just don't be on the edge. Yeah, this is the main... Oh, dear. Nope. Landed in the sand there. The sand gives you really, really low jumps, so you really don't want to be in it for the most part. I was just trying to show off the sand, so I messed up. But yeah, this is the main save I try to reset for, because the cycles at the top just sync up well if you reset. And if you don't sync them up, it's kind of difficult for me to land on the platform and deal with the jump at the end as well. There you go. This save has a lot going on, and you don't have to worry about any of it. Just get on the platform, hold right, get pushed through the block, it's fine. Now for the real proof that this is a Banjo-Kazooie stage. Here's the speed boots. So each set of speed boots have their own timer that you can always see above your head. As you can see, they make you move very, very quickly. I don't have anything to continue on from there. They make you move very, very quickly. Try to get through the platform before the time runs out. I didn't have a double jump there for some reason. Good. Guess I missed the block somehow, that's a shame. Ah, this one's always a bit awkward. So you gotta land on the block and then fall off, but these spikes move really fast. There we go. Mash a little bit for that, avoid the trap. Go on to the next screen with all of its cycles. So I have multiple strats for dealing with this screen depending on how well it goes. Preferably, obviously, I just don't die, that's always the best. Cool. Ah, I didn't get stuck. Nice. A little worried there. Unfortunately, I will have to time that out a bit, but that's fine. There you go. Nice. Nope. Gotta go a moment too early. Ah. Pretty much gotta go as... I managed to make that. Okay, I'm surprised I didn't die there. Wow. You pretty much gotta go as these spikes move away here. There you go. Wait for the timer. Go a little too early again. Man, I am slightly off. That's gonna be a problem for the next couple of saves. There you go. So if you time that one perfectly, hey, you can make it back and get over as well. This one. So yeah, the main problem here is because the sand disguises where you are, it does make it very hard to see yourself. And you've got to make sure you're just in the right spot for trying to do some of these jumps here. Otherwise you won't make it over the spike. And if you can keep the speed boost, there you go. Go straight past that trap as well, which is nice. It's not a huge time save, obviously, but like every little helps. A little too early. Fair enough. So this save and the next save are relatively well known, I'd say. Ooh, flawless. As very difficult saves, especially this one. This one is very well known. This is actually a reference from Tutor for another of Dagger's games, where he has this little section here. And Dagger actually has a... I really went early. That spike disappeared a moment later. That's upsetting. Oh, and the last one. So yeah, you've got to time your movement perfectly with this all the way across. Obviously there's a little bit of leeway, but as you just saw, it can be very easy to make a mistake. There we go, second try is fine. There's also a game that wasn't publicly released made by Dagger that's just that little section, but for like 3 to 5 screens in a row, which is really funny. Yeah, I was wondering about that, Waltz. Yeah, the audio doesn't perfectly sync up with it. Really? He's actually managing to get me. Wow. This guy never manages to hit me. Alright, cool. This little section I actually have my own splits for. Like, separate for this part specifically. Because the next save after this one and the one after the boss are both kind of problems for me. Like, you don't want to shoot these guys when they're moving towards you. This is why you've got to hit the backs of these guys. If you hit the shield, yeah, they're going to reflect your bullets back and it's just that time. It is dodgeable, as you can see, but you've got to be ready for it. And sometimes even when I hear it and see it coming, I'm still not fast enough. Hey, nice. Good position. Alright, now for the... No! Come on, I even hugged the left! Why would you do this to me? Ah... That wasn't even meant to be the problem part. I mean, it's the start of the save, but that's upsetting. Long jump. Okay. There you go. Alright, so this is the problem save. Not because of this guy, although he does slow you down a little bit. But because of this little jump right here. The strat is you jump at this and you hope it doesn't kill you. And of course it didn't kill me. So yay, first try. That's nice. Very good. The strat for that jump is literally you jump and you hope it works out. But you can never quite be sure of whether it will or not. And onto the Mecha Robo fight. So this guy is a complete spam fest. If you're not very good at mashing, then I hope you start learning how to improve. Okay, good, he disappeared on the left. So disappearing on the left there is actually very good for this. Because we'll have a little intermission section now after he's disappeared, where Chono's going to chase after us. Another reference to one of the other games by Dagger and Tutor. So this boss is actually used in a game called I Wanna Be Assaulted, which was another collab game by these two makers. I forget who made this boss, but I have nightmares about her. The boss is very difficult, and her face is horrifying. So, it's not something I ever wanted to relive, but here we are. Yeah, this Chono speeds up twice, and all of this section is entirely patterned for the fruit and the Chono itself. There's these icicles spawning from the ceiling, but as you can see, they're so infrequent it's mostly fine. Then on to part 2, the scary part, because this guy likes to jump a lot. And if he jumps near you, yeah, you can't quite tell whether he's going to do the claw or not, so you really want to mash him down quickly. Oh, he's jumping away so fast. That's beautiful. Alright, part 3. Ooh, good mecha boss. Ooh, scary. Same thing, rinse, repeat. Except, you know, bats sometimes. Nope, 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 nope. It's fine, it's fine. Buddy! And that's why part 3 is scary. So if I had time to talk, I would mention how the fruit randomness can be a little on the harsh side at times. A little on the harsh side at times. I even saw that was going to be rough and I couldn't see a way out in any way, so I just stood still and took it. Yeah. Well, maybe we get to see why phase 2 gets to be difficult then. There's the first speed up, spawn one fruit in the corner, go in the corner myself, and stop thinking. So yeah, like I said, the Cherno's pattern, so it's mostly fine. So this boss is pretty much a long build-up until you get to phase 3 on most attempts. And then phase 3, you hope he doesn't rush you into the corner. I do not remember where he despawned, which is a problem because that's where he'll come back. Okay, it's right in the corner there, fantastic. As far away as possible, it's beautiful. Ooh, the more he does the beam attack, the better. Because it takes a long time and it keeps him away from me. And he's jumping again, okay. Okay. This is why this is scary. Nope. That was a bad read on my part, but it worked out. Alright, cool. Why is there a bat here? What are you doing? Oh, that's one hit. Okay, well that's good. If he does the beam attack right as he's transitioning into phase 3, it means you won't have to deal with much in phase 3, which is fantastic. And on to the next section, which is 2 saves long, and I also have a split 4. Thankfully, I've got a new strap for this recently, so hopefully it doesn't take too long. But I was doing a practice run earlier today, and despite this being 2 saves long, I managed to save a minute on it over my PB, so... speaks volumes about how badly it can go sometimes. Ah, trying to hit these guys is impossible. Come on! Thank you. Okay, and now for the save that's generally the one that's the problem. Time to see how many tries this takes. Well, that one's on me, so... So yeah, because of the way this guy shoots, you're kind of at the whims of whenever he fires. Yeah. And I've managed to die very frequently on this save. Because there's just not really a good way of handling it. Oh, thank God. This strat is definitely better. So I used to wait an extra cycle between the 2 guys moving back and forth, which obviously gave you a lot more opportunity to die to the guy shooting the triple bullets there. Obviously, you also can just try to kill things again, but it's kind of difficult to hit them, like I said, and it's very easy to die on that part regardless. Alright, so that whole little section again was still by Tutor. Now I move back on to Dagger stage. You can tell because Dagger is a big fan of the Donkey Kong Country, so just like the first stage we had, this is another one where he's literally just taken a full-on tile set from Donkey Kong and then just filled the blocks in. Every single thing here is a block if you think it's a block. There's obviously no way to cheese things here, unfortunately. If you missed a block, is a really long tower climb, so there's nothing you'd really be able to do with it anyway. Because with the way these games tend to work, unless there's a block for you to stand on, you're not going to be ascending anywhere. So you just got to go with this platform and hope you don't die. So there's not really too much time you can save on this stage, but thankfully it's also relatively straightforward. This is probably one of the harder saves in this stage, because you got to try to jump between the end of these Hadoukens. Nice, and this block jump. Okay, I've been really good at these 2 sections for some reason. Like, the block jump's surprisingly difficult to do. If you've played I Want to Be the Guy Fangames, you'll fully understand how easy it is to bonk in a 32 pixel section. There's just a block, the kid, and then another block, and it's very, very easy to make a mistake on those. So when you can't see where the edge of the block... When you can't see quite where the edge of the block is, because part of this wall isn't going to keep you still, it makes things a lot more awkward. I've got to do that again here, because otherwise I died. Wow, twice? Really? Alright, fine. It is possible to try to bait this electrode out and go under the giant explosion. However, the hitbox in the explosion is very hard to see, and it's actually a lot more difficult than it appears. Case in point. It didn't really look like any explosion was near me, still managed to die. which is why you try to jump over it. It's actually been a long time since I messed this one up. That's a shame. The B hitbox is just the full B, as is the way with a lot of I Want to Be the Guy fan games. They don't tend to reduce the hitbox. What it looks like is what is going to kill you. So you just try your best to avoid all of it, otherwise death is more than likely guaranteed. There you go, that's one of the easier block jumps too. Garage to this section. They forgot to make them kill. Whoops. No thinking on my part necessary. Carrying on up, so this is the one main random section of this stage. So these clamp hole looking things from Donkey Kong Country are perfectly fine, but this Onyx spawned a lot of rocks and kind of gets in the way. It's mostly just on one jump, but one jump's enough to cause you problems sometimes. Yeah, this thing here, because you've got to slot between these Bs and hope there's no rock in the way. Alright, fantastic. And you need to get up early, otherwise, yeah, trying to get under that block in time with this platform is actually quite difficult if there's too many rocks on the right of you and they don't let you get past. I hit the B's wing, fair enough. That was actually a pretty good Onyx section, thankfully, that was pretty okay. Yeah, thankfully with this, you can just let the platform take you through normally. That was not the way I normally do that, but it worked out. Alright, the one long troll section. The green shells kind of just do what they want. Followed up by actual trolls. Yeah. I'm sure we all recognize these faces at this point. Yeah. No explanation is needed there. And on to the final save. Kind of a mini avoidance section here. These fruit will just target you, shoot, keep up with the pattern, and eventually the lift will ascend far enough that you won't have to worry about anything. And while that was the tutorial, here's the main event. You've done one, how about two? Nice. Okay, there is another save. Well, never mind, I forget the save count apparently. This part always looks scary, but you just hug the left-hand wall and everything's fine. Because the way everything's timed in this stage is only when it's on screen does it start actually doing things. They realized that this game was so big that they actually needed to make sure that things didn't... Like, normally in Fangames, if it exists in the room, it's doing things all the time. But this game's so big, they make sure things don't work until you can see them. There you go. And on to the boss. Again, Donkey Kong Country. Feel free to count along, it increases by 1 every time, so that was a count of 1. After the crabs will be 2, so on and so forth. I'm sure you get the gist there. I think you can count to 5, it's fine. So this section's kind of a reference, 1, 2, to a lot of other dagger things as well. And a little bit of Tuto with this Pikachu trap again. These Pikachus are actually surprisingly hard to read when they're flashing. It's a little hard to judge where they actually are on the screen. 1, 2, 3. Don't know. Again, reference to the boss from Assaulted that we saw in the Mecha Robo fight. Once you kill the Cherno face enough in Assaulted, then her face detaches and starts chasing after you, and it's terrifying. Green shell. Now start counting. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, curving fruit. Not my smartest move there, but it worked out, so... I should not have stood in that corner. Sometimes we make poor decisions, but as long as it doesn't kill us, it's fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, explosion didn't kill me, good. Final round. Surprisingly terrifying. 1, 2, 1, 2. Just 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. Nope, that's fine. Didn't want to die. Oh, you've no idea how many times I've died in that final attack before. It is more scary than it looks. It really shouldn't be, but it's so easy to make mistakes. So easy to make mistakes in that. Alright, moving on to the next section, again by Dagger actually. This is... it's Needle. This is Needle. If you've not played I Want to Be the Guy Fangames before, by Needle we mean it spikes. Generally it's just an emphasis on precision platforming for the most part. There's nothing too crazy, it looks neat. Dodge the spikes, there you go. With an intermission from something completely different actually as well. After this screen, the stage is very, very short. This, like, every time I get to it, I always think to myself, like, why exactly? It's a very strange feeling stage after doing everything like Donkey Kong Country and Banjo-Kazooie and so on and so forth, and then it's just this. And don't get me wrong, the boss is very cool. It's just this little section is... it exists. It's fine. It's fine. There you go. Here's your intermission in the stage. 2 screens of spikes, suddenly bullet hell. Why is it bullet hell? I don't know. It is what it is now. Dodge the bullets. If my shooting is really good, we can get out of this a little bit faster. Unfortunately, I am not known for my mashing skills. I am not an I want to be the bossy runner. I'll try to shoot a little bit here, because if we get a guy at the bottom, it'll just clear them out a little faster. Thank you. So I don't have to jump quite so much. Which means I can get a little bit of extra damage at the start on this guy. So this is the last one. Hey, that's not too bad. That's alright. 2 cycles is fine. You can get that guy before the bullets even reach you, but my shooting speed is not the fastest in the community. Yeah, 2 more screens, and then we'll be moving on to the boss here. I don't really have too much to say about the jumps. Jump correctly, you'll get through the game. Perfectly fine. I will say the post-Toho section of platforming with the jumps here is definitely a lot harder than the first section. The first 2 screens aren't too bad. These 2 screens are actually kind of tough. And there we go. Don't question it, it's fine. Alright, time for the boss. Doesn't matter where you shoot, it will always aim towards Marissa here. Welcome to Toho. She has 6 attacks. For some reason I've never counted before. So around half health she'll go into another attack. So as you can see, 3 stars. 2 attacks per star. There are 2 attacks for the most part that are actually scary for me here. One is the laser beam attack, which will be the one after this, attack 4, and then the one right after that, which is a mini avoidance section. If you look at the credits for this game, it actually thanks 2 makers called Sunblar and Ultra Gamer XD, I believe, who made a game called I Want to Be the Sunspike, which was the first I Want to Be the Guy fan game that made a sphere, which was really, really impressive at the time. There you go. Good. And they asked for the code that they used to make that and then re-implement it into their game. So, here you go. 30-second avoidance, as is the way with Toho bosses. Easily the scariest part of this fight. The last 10 seconds, where it speeds up for the second time, get very, very difficult. Like, most of the sphere's perfectly fine, but if you ever play this game, this is the part on this boss that you tend to struggle with. That's a bit far, but it should be fine. Yep, okay, it's all good. Ah, terrifying every time. Final attack. Every couple of hits, it just despawns everything and gives you more spawning at once, so... First 3 levels really aren't too bad. For the most part, maybe you'll have to dodge something once. Final level, yeah. If you get unlucky, it can be pretty harsh, but for most of the time... Final attack's still pretty decent. Final attack's still pretty reasonable to deal with. If you can get past the sphere, you'll probably win. On to the final stage. Timer's looking pretty good at the moment. Alright. Definitely not world record pace. I managed to get a really good time right before the marathon today, so I'm very aware of how much time I have to save. Best song of the game. So one of the recurring themes with older Japanese adventure fan games is that the final stage tends to have non-restarting music. This is the final stage. The music is no longer restarting, which is fantastic because this song is the best. I will never get tired of this one. It's so good. And thankfully, like, while this stage is only 2 screens long, they last a little bit of time because we've got to go around and collect all the flags to move on to the next thing. So these 2 screens are based on an old game called Rally X, I believe. And it's also where the song's taken from as well, as a remix of that. Trying to pay a bit of attention here. Unfortunately, there's not much I can do on this cycle here. I've kind of just got to wait a while. I've really tried to find different paths around, but they all kind of result in the end thing, same. So, on the plus side, more of the song, which is really good, because this song's so good. There you go. Wait for the dude here. Unfortunately, that was a good Rally X, so we don't get to hear more of the song. I'm sorry. It's such a good song. It's easily one of my favorite in this game, and it's over. I hate that these stages are so short, but the songs are really good in this section, and you don't get to hear any of them for long enough. Alright, next little intermission part right here. So these sections are always just used as intermissions between the next stages. So that was Tutor stage. This is based on Dagger stuff. Understandably, Donkey Kong Country. Considering what we've seen from Dagger so far, it makes perfect sense. You actually want to restart at the start of this save because it just lets you skip a couple of cycles of waiting on the octopi at the top there. Gotta wait for this guy to come back first so you have time. Explosions? It's explosions, don't question it, it's explosions. I want to be the guy Fangames, anything and everything goes. That's just how we work here. I jumped too high, cast on me. That's unfortunate. Yeah. So if you thought the Rally X section was short, unfortunately, this is even shorter. You don't even get to the hype part of this song and it's already done. Alright, so considering we've got a bit of time still, I'm a tad underestimate here. I'll show off one of the penalty rooms. These things are always a crowd favourite. Yeah, so if I restart here, I'm also saved in this room. I've got to get to the end before I can get out. Then I can take the save again. Thankfully, that penalty room is very easy to avoid. But yeah, that's also the easiest one to get at the end of the run if things are going alright. Alright, final part of this stage before we get to the final boss. So this is, again, another reference to an old Dagger and Suta collab. I believe this was I Want to Be Assaulted Again, where Dagger and Suta each made a stage individually, and at the end of each of their stages, they made their own separate avoidances. So this little section here is a 30-second section of, like, both of their avoidances from that game. The first part here is pretty easy, thankfully. It's not too bad at all. Not a slow-moving fruit. Pretty reasonable to just look at it and dodge. Second part, you've kind of got to learn the pattern a little bit to make sure that you can get through consistently, but it is mostly pattern, so once you know it once, you should be fine. Technically a sequel? In a sense, yeah. Yeah, Dagger and Suta have collabed on a lot of things. Oh, and Suta's used this song a lot. It's a good song. Alright, just remembering the pattern real quick. Because while it's not too hard, I always get scared. Go for the right for this one. There you go. Pretty much just remembering when to be in the corner and when to not. Alright, good. Fantastic. And that's the final stage sorted. On to the final boss. So this boss is apparently made by Dagger, but it's very much in Suta's style, as he, like I've said, they both made quite a few avoidances. But if you look at this boss and you played any of their games, you'll immediately think this was made by Suta, and apparently this is actually made by Dagger. He recreates Suta's style really, really well here. This boss is also like 95% pattern as well, so if I do everything correctly, this should be a first try, but there is one section with some randomness that can cause some trouble. So I'll point out when we get there. Otherwise, I should say, like, we saw some flashing lights there. There's a couple of parts in this fight that are very much epilepsy-inducing. So if you have problems with that, I fully understand looking away for this. Down at the safe spots. Don't worry about the fruit, it's fine. This looks like RNG, but it's actually the same every time. Not so sure on the stars, though. But they're generally alright. Oh, there's such good songs in this game. Epilepsy warning, yeah. Yeah. Not exactly much I can do about that, I'm afraid. Flashing lights, very bright, hard to see. And here's the one scary part of the fight. Hopefully it's not too bad. That was exceptionally free. Wow, that's some of the easiest randomness I've seen on Lowe's Fruit in a good while. I have not seen that attack be that easy in a very long time. Alright, so the rest of the fight, I shouldn't die. You know how it goes. If you forget how things work for a moment, sometimes you make mistakes and then you're sad. Even if it's the same every time, that doesn't mean you can't screw it up. I do have a tendency on making mistakes on this part. The water hadn't kicked in yet. That's a new one. So normally my problem on that is that I jump too early and I run into the fruit on the left-hand side. So the water fades in on that little section, and you can't really tell when it's happening. Normally my problem is I jump like a little later and I run into a fruit that's like half sticking out of the wall that I think will have disappeared. This time I managed to jump too early and didn't have an extra jump because the water wasn't there yet. So, unfortunate, but it is what it is. Thankfully, like I said, this fight isn't too bad, so I have a very lenient estimate. So I have more than enough time to get through all of this. Yeah, on the plus side, it gives me more time to not talk so you can listen to the great song. And more epilepsy, that is true. Yeah, like I said, most of this is pattern, so it's fairly replicable. Replicable? What am I even trying to say? Replicable. So most of the time you really won't be dying to this, thankfully. There's only one or two parts that can generally cause trouble. I will say the end... Okay. The end part can be a little scary as well, as there's a bit of random... Okay, that was a little on the scary side for that attack. Alright. Especially scary considering it's like right at the end of the fight too. I haven't had it cause me trouble before, but there's a first time for everything. There's always a chance, like... Randomness does, as any speedrunner knows, randomness does what randomness wants. And it will always find a way to cause you trouble when you least expect it. Why? Why is it always to that jump? Why is it always to that jump? I lost 5 minutes in my previous PB to this, and I saved them all by first trying, so my PB today... Today is apparently not replicating that. Wow, apparently the word replicable is really hard for me today. Alright, cool. Unfortunate. I'm just trying to spare you all from having an interview with me afterwards. It's fine, don't worry about it. I'm letting you listen to a great song and not listen to me... Well, I was going to say not listen to me talk more, but unfortunately I'm kind of known for that, so I'm probably going to keep going, so that's probably not going to change. But I'll be referring to the game instead of referring to whatever they're going to ask me, so, you know, that part's great. It is kind of upsetting dying to that attack twice, that's for sure, but... It is definitely the part that I struggle with in this fight, so if it was going to be anywhere, it was going to be to that. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. It's a shame that it's like 2 minutes into the fight as well. But I mean, I guess it's better that it's not further in, so it is what it is. That fruit is out. In. Hope randomness isn't a problem. Don't be a problem. I said don't be a problem. Jeez. Trying to be scary, aren't you? Alright. And now we get to the part that I seem to be dying at. For the most part though, good run. First try Marissa, first try drums. Like the last few bosses are very, very scary for sure. Like anything from Mecha Robo onwards can always give you trouble. There have been too many times I've died to the sphere on Marissa, and just all the time drains away. Oh my god, what a mess. Unfortunate. Well, I guess it's a good thing I have a high estimate. Oh dear. Well, fair enough, it is what it is. Ah, the nerves finally coming back or something, are they? Or is it just exhaustion from trying my best to make sure I have something to talk about? Yeah. For the most part, this has definitely been a good run. We did see why Mecha Robo can be a bit of a problem. That fruit wall was very, very unfortunate. This fight, yeah, pattern, but really, really struggling with that one jump at the moment, huh? I do not know why. Like, again, you can see that it is just that one jump. If I get past it, then the rest of this fight should go fine. Should being the main word. I'm not going to guarantee everything. It is a marathon run. As we all know with marathon runs, things can go screwy sometimes. You can always get surprised by what can happen in a marathon. It already has been a while since I died this much in this section. Shame. Epilepsy yet again, unfortunately. I was kind of hoping I'd first try it so we wouldn't have to see the flashing here too much, but yeah, my bad. Alright, stand in the corner, wait for that one. Hope that the star is kind to us. Okay. This is why I say that attack is the scary one here. That's why that attack is the scary one there. I'm just trying to give the star more time to get me, you know? You gotta give the game a chance, right? Like, I've been doing a pretty good job so far. It's gotta have at least one chance to get its own back on me. That's what's going on with this. It's fine, don't worry about it. It gets one jump to cause me trouble. The rest of it's okay. There you go. There's the water kicking in. Don't overreact to this. I've definitely overreacted to this section before. There you go. Alright, okay. So like I said, the rest of this fight is mostly pattern. And a couple, like, one attack with very, very easy RNG. So it should be fine, right? What could go wrong? Flashing lights again? I don't remember how bad this part was. Scary end pattern. But damn, is it cool. Wait for the pink one, go under. There you go. It's always one scary dodge in the Tusa fight ending. That's how it works. And these stars here are random. And they were fine. Cool. Woo. There you go. Shame on that one jump, but it was just the one jump, so that's fine. Time. There you go. That's the game. Could have gone worse. Could have gone worse. Underestimate. Pretty significant amount. I'll lower the volume on this because unfortunately this is a song of the anime D. Greyman and it tends to mute Twitch VODs. So yeah, I'm gonna mute that real quick. Every run I've done that's got these credits playing is like immediately muted every single time. So yeah, look at the pretty graphics and just assume the song's there. Yeah, I can show off the other penalty room as well while I'm at it, so I can boot that up and try to get that all set up for that. Yeah, I'll start boosting up the penalty rooms then, and then I'll cut out the credits when it's all sorted. Yeah, if I was letting the credits play out, you'd see all the stages that we've seen so far. We'll see the makers, we'll see Sumblar and Ultra Gamer be linked messaged in here because they helped out with the sphere, and so on and so forth. However, we're going to skip all that because, you know, it's credits, you get the idea. It has songs, it has stages, it shows who the stages were made by between Suter and Dagger. You get the gist. Otherwise, I will no, that's going to look weird on stream. Yep, other game's still booting up. There we go. It's going to take a couple of minutes to get to the first room, but that's fine. Don't worry about it. So yeah, I've got to go through the first couple of stages again, because the first time penalty room kicks in, this is louder, isn't it? Ooh, this is louder, yes. My bad. Hold on. Let me fix that. Sound problems. Yeah, let's go. So, because unfortunately the first place that you can actually see a penalty room is in one of the stages in the hub. And I'm not allowed to backspace out either here or in the credits. So I've got to go through again to get back to it. Which only means doing a couple of screens, it's not too bad. Like 2 screens in the intro, a couple of screens in the actual stage itself. And then I can show off what the penalty rooms look like in this game quickly. So yeah, we're just going through the early game screens again that we already know. So nothing too special here. Except instead of doing the 3 stages on the right, we're just going to go on the left. We'll just go straight to the right here. Straight back to this one. Gotta go through a couple of rooms here, and when I get to the first penalty room, we're gonna hear the other song of this game. Wait for it. There you go. Laser also always lasts a little bit longer than you think it will. I got caught on the block, dang. I got caught on the block again. Okay, there you go. So I believe it's on the next room. So yeah, as you can tell, this area specifically is rather large, and like I said, there's multiple penalty rooms, and each penalty room has its own layout. So just when you think you've learned a penalty room, you'll get to a penalty room in another section. That saves fine, we don't need that here because we're about to drop. And I'd say this song is very appropriate for the feelings you should have while watching Fangame Marathon this year. I do not know the layout of these blocks. I did not learn these because they are not important for the run. Let's turn this up a little bit. Yeah, there's 3 layouts for this. So once you learn one set of invisible blocks, you get another one. And then just to finish things off, I did not link it to the other one, did I? Hold on a moment, I'm gonna have to reboot this up real quick. I thought I changed that. Did I do it on the wrong one? I did do it on the wrong one, shucks. So I was gonna try to make it that I warped to the room that we saw before, but I did it in the wrong place. But thankfully this doesn't take long to get back to, so that's fine. There we go. And then we can end it on the Live Love Together song again, because that one's always good. Sorry, I just got to boot the game up again for this. So I have a separate file to try to get this sorted. Oh, do I have the... Oh, I have the logo as placement, don't I? Oh, I do have the logo as placement just so there's something in the background to make sure the stream's running. Well, you get to enjoy that. That's my avatar on Twitch. Have fun. Oh, dear. I forgot about that being there. Thankfully, I came more than well enough under PB, so we have all the time in the world for this. Come on, game. There you go. Shouldn't take too long to get past the Marios again. I know the layout now. Yeah. Come on now. There you go. Alright, there you go. And that's why I want to be the orbit. I hope you enjoyed this. I don't have anything else to say. That's been the whole game. Feel free to take us away, Cosmo. Did I mute Discord? I muted Discord. I misclicked when I was trying to... Sorry about that.
No!
I muted Discord when I was trying to lower the volume on the other EXE for a little bit. My bad.
I'm here, guys. I'm here. I'm here, everyone. Hi. Okay, let's say that again.
Technical difficulty!